Hello, good evening, and welcome to First Responder Field at ServPro Stadium in Olney, Maryland. Tonight we have the Olney Cropdusters against your Bethesda Big Train alongside Quincy Bell. I'm Jackson Corcoran. Gibson Hurt is our producer-engineer. The perils of road baseball. We're sharing one handheld microphone today at a table alongside the third base line, so please excuse any audio difficulties, but Quincy, big chance for the Big Train to bounce back from a tough loss last night.
Yeah, we're going to make do with the situation that we're dealt. That's ultimately in life. You just got to do the best what you can. And the Big Train are just going to have to do their best to avoid the walks. I think it's the one thing that really cost them that opening day game. They played up 11 runs, but ultimately got behind the 8 ball early due to a bit too many walks. We'll see if today's starter, Lucas Marrero, a sophomore out of the University of Lynchburg, can get a strong start, maybe go 3 innings, 4 innings, and get ahead in this game early. I think that's going to be the key. You don't want to be coming down from 6 runs early in this one.
Yeah, as you said, they were behind the 8 ball all day yesterday against the DC Grays, and a huge swing by.
Overall look to it with the sleeves having a little flannel style.
That's chopped towards the first base bag. It is fair. It'll be fielded there by Stalker, the first baseman, who steps on the bag for the first out.
Getting back to the jerseys, I'm normally in favor of teams getting pretty creative with the uniforms. I will have to say these are some of the ugliest jerseys I've seen in a long time. These are a rough look. But for a team called the Cropdusters, they're going to lean into them and they're going to take pride in them. I don't have to like them for them.
My mother always told me, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So we're going to move on from the uniform discussion. Breaking ball is low from Dominico to John Martinez, the 3-hole hitter in today's game. Playing shortstop once again, the FAU Owl. And Dominico checks on right at second base. The pitch is high, ball 2.
And one of the stories of last game was the Big Train. Not until late in the game, they struggled to hit with runners on base and runners in scoring position. It took a while for them to really get a rally going. You'd like to see them jump out on the road with an early run with Wright already at second.
They've got Martinez and Gonzalez due up to FAU sluggers. That's lined toward the second baseman on a hop fielded by Frey, who goes over to first for out number 2. Wright scoots over to third, so it'll be 2 down, runner at third for Emilio Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonzalez, he was the one who made the ever unlucky last out of the game yesterday. He hit a fly ball 370-odd feet, just feet in front of the wall. I'm sure he'd like a nice rebound at bat here and get this first run home.
Yeah, we looked at the exit velo data after that swing. 100 off the bat as the first pitch was fouled off. He got a lot of it, but just not enough. Small field here at First Responder Field. About 315 down the left and right field lines, 370 or so to center. Symmetrical fencing, so the power alley is about 350. That pitch is low, the breaking ball. Advertising signage in left and right center, and a Maryland U.S. and only Cropdusters flag hangs over right center field. That pitch is up and in. The count now 2-1.
And Dominico with a bit of a stronger start after hitting right to lead off this game. The Big Train struggled a little bit against left-handed pitching yesterday, so hopefully their power-hitting lefties can get into a groove here eventually against Dominico.
One of those power-hitting lefties, Gonzalez, will face a 2-1 pitch. He pops it up. It's backspinning on the infield, heading towards Frey. He's going to close the glove on it. And after the inning opening hit by pitch, the next 3 Big Trains set down in order will go to the bottom of the first. And the Cropdusters will get their first swings. Lucas Marrero on the mound for the Bethesda Big Train. He'll face Aiden Frey, Coy Swanson, and Tyler Cook in the bottom of the first. The only Cropdusters getting their first time at the bat. It's a hazy, warm night here in Olney. The sun's still high in the sky. About 85 degrees at first pitch. Lefty and lefty are the starting pitchers in today's game. Marrero's first pitch is high, ball one.
And Marrero hailing from the University of Lynchburg, a 109 at a 4.32 ERA last year, so hoping for a strong start out of today.
That's popped up into shallow left field, twisting down the line, and that's going to bend into the Big Train bullpen. At first, it looked like Wesley might have a go at it, but it just kept on going, and it's strike one. The Bethesda defense sets up like this. Murphy's behind the plate, Gonzalez at first, Brennan Wright at second, John Martinez manning short, Logan Punnett playing the hot corner after designated hitting yesterday, and the outfield from left to right is Wesley, Ott, and Skoronsky, with Marrero towing the rubber. Aiden Frey, the Cropdusters' second baseman, at the bat. Pitch to him. All high on the fastball. Frey, Swanson, Cook, Stalker, Hawkins, Santiago Cruz, Knight, Ahern, Scott is the lineup for the home team. Marrero catches the corner with that pitch, evens up the count at 2-2 to the only leadoff hitter. Frey just finished his junior year at the University of Delaware. He's out of Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. And he'll see the 2-2 pitch. Off speed outside. Count runs full.
And full count, 3-ball counts is where Marrero's going to need to be strong today. I know I mentioned it in the pregame, but a bevy of walks cannot happen today.
Swinging a ground ball right at the fence in front of us. It's foul. Count remains full, so a sixth pitch in the at-bat, seventh rather, will come towards Aiden Frey. But you probably want Marrero to go a bit long given the amount of pitching that the Big Train had to run through yesterday. Hope to get 3 or 4, maybe 5 solid out of him. Marrero's pitch at the knees called low, and that'll be a walk.
I think you can live with a miss like that. That was right at the knees, maybe just an inch low. I'll take a competitive miss like that over serving him up a fastball right down the middle. That was a really good pitch. If he could live there for the majority of this game, Marrero, I think it's in for a strong start, even despite the leadoff walk.
And now he gets the platoon advantage against the left-handed hitting Coy Swanson, today's Cropduster right fielder. Has an interesting batting stance, holds the bat high above his head, cocked back towards the stands, leans back in the box, and as Marrero looks towards first, he'll rock to a standstill with Frey getting back easy. The southpaw Marrero has that lefty move, the ability to just step towards first base, extra layer of deception to the base runner. Pitch. Fouled off at the plate.
And that foul ball hit off the bricks and came all the way back to Marrero. The catcher, Murphy, didn't even have to field it. That's something to note. If there is a pass ball today with those bricks playing a big hop like that, it could be hard for a runner to score from third on a pass ball.
The bricks behind home plate are under a netting. Full netting, no chain link. Marrero, the 1-1. Breaking ball is low. Behind that netting is a series of stadium seats that rings just to the dugouts and is topped by a press box. 2-1 from Marrero. Slingshot delivery is fouled off. Marrero Once he breaks the hands, he whips that arm down, then zips it back over the top. Trebuchet-like delivery from the young left-hander. 2-2 to Coy Swanson. Called! Strike 3. Sets down the lefty on the 2-2 pitch, and there's one away.
Yeah, that's very similar to the pitch where Frey drew a walk. Like I said, if he could live in that area, he should be okay. Got the benefit of the call for the umpire that time, and there's one out for the 3-hitter coming up.
I think it's also a consequence of 2 different pitches thrown on the last 2 at-bats. The walk was on a fastball. The strikeout was on a curveball. That pitch is swung on and flown into right field, right at Josh Skoronsky, who pads on in and retires Tyler Cook.
Yeah, you love first pitch outs there. Ran a fastball inside on Cook. Wasn't able to put a great bat on it. Hit it a little bit off the handle. Ultimately, it's an easy fly ball for Skoronsky and right. And now with the cleanup hitter Stalker coming up, you got a lefty-lefty matchup and 1 out away from getting out of the first.
Lucas Marrero had a very nice rookie campaign at Lynchburg. He started the ODAC, the Old Dominion Athletic Conference championship game against Randolph-Macon. The runner takes off, and that's fouled up in the air, spinning towards the net. Murphy has a look at it, and he makes the catch. Both teams put a runner on to lead off their innings, but then retire the next 3. So we're through 1, score 0-0. Corey and Domenico returns to the mound to face Josh Skoronsky, Logan Punnett, and Matthew Wesley. Punnett and Wesley had some of the best swings for the big train yesterday. Skoronsky leading things off in this. He takes a breaking ball at the knees for strike 1. Josh Skoronsky showed a discerning eye at the plate in yesterday's game, walking 3 times. And he takes a ball here.
He also got hit by a pitch, too. It was very clear that the Grays were trying to not put anything in the line of his powerful bat.
Hit cleanup yesterday, 5-hole today, and Domenico takes a breath, delivers, and it's inside for a ball. Two-one count to Skoronsky. This inning's leadoff batter. The pitch is low, ball 3. Quincy, the Big Train did a great job of getting leadoff runners on in yesterday's game.
Yeah, the problem was just bringing them around. They, for a while, were stuck at 2 or 3 runs through the majority of that game until they put up an onslaught in the 7th or 8th. So I think the goal here is just move runners along earlier in the inning.
And once again, a leadoff runner on. Ball 4 issued to Josh Skoronsky. And that brings up Logan Punnett, yesterday's near hero. Punnett came up with the bases loaded and the big train down 4 and slugged a home run to left field just to the right of the foul pole. Tied up the game, and he'll take ball 1 here, but it's a big moment early in the big train career of Punnett.
Yeah, and he was hitting 9th yesterday. It was great to see a big hit like that out of the last hitter in the order, and now he has the benefit of the doubt, at least so far, getting up to the 6th spot today from Sal Colangelo.
Punnett takes strike 1. And the zone has dipped a little lower after the first ball 4 call from Marrero. Pitchers have been getting that call at the knees. And with that call, Punnett will face a 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul tip through the catcher's glove into the backstop.
I'm all for umpires expanding the zone a little bit in a game like this. As long as it's consistent, I'd rather see an umpire force hitters to swing the bat rather than just see a carousel of walks all day long. I'm all for giving a borderline strike.
1-2 from Indomenico. Swing and a miss. Punnett strikes out, and that's 1 down. Here comes Matthew Wesley, who reached base every time he strode to the plate yesterday. Double, reached on there, and then a trio of walks in his final 3 PAs. He's got a runner on first in the form of Josh Skoronsky, and 1 out. That fastball is high and outside for ball 1. Sun's still blaring down, but it's getting a little breezy. Light breeze is cooling things down here at First Responder Field as that's fouled into the bricks once again and scoots past Indomenico on the mound. Lots of ricochet on the bricking behind home plate.
Yeah, the first baseman Stalker had to come over and toss that one back towards his dugout.
These dugouts are wide open, and the Cropdusters have their whole roster leaning on the fence while the big train have split their men between the dugout and the bullpen. Pitchers out in the pen and fielders inside. Sometimes you'll see teams like the Cropdusters are doing here keep their pitchers in until they're ready to warm up. Just keep the squad together, as it were. That pitch inside, count 3-1 to Wesley.
And one of the pitchers for the Cropdusters who is waiting to go to the bullpen is wearing a nice big wide straw hat, which I will say I do think accompanies their uniform outfit pretty well. I am a fan of that.
It does go well. From all the way in the dugout, that pitch in there for a called strike, count runs full. It looks almost like they actually are wearing jeans, overalls, denim overalls, and a flannel. It's only when you get up close that the illusion is revealed. Payoff pitch with 1 out. High ball 4, 2 walks in the inning, and that's going to bring up Dylan Murphy.
And Murphy will get his first big train at bat here. He's also another FAU Owl. He'll be switching duties, I'd imagine, every other game with Hawk, the Maryland catcher who started yesterday. But we'll see if he can put his stamp on the big train season. In game number 2, he's got 2 runners on with 1 out. Big chance here.
In summer baseball, you can never have enough pitching, but you can definitely not have enough catching. I mean, coming from the collegiate baseball season, catchers are not used to catching every day with so many weekend series. Pitch to Murphy is high and away, but the ability to switch in and out and have multiple quality catchers on the roster is a big boon for any team. Murphy takes ball 2. He made 5 appearances with the Owls in his freshman season, including 3 starts. In his first career start, he went 2 for 4 against UTSA on March 30th, notching a double and an RBI. And last summer with the Delray Beach Lightning, he hit .306 with a .408 on-base percentage, drove in 11 runners. and struck out just 15 times across 103 plate appearances. Good bat-to-ball skills displayed by the native of Palm City, Florida. Domenico comes set, checks Skaronski at second base, and delivers low ball 3.
Yeah, some patient at-bats getting put up here by the big train. That's ultimately what got them back into the game yesterday. Not a lot of first pitch swinging, waiting, getting into hitters' counts, or taking their walks when they were able to.
Yeah, on BigTrain.org, you can read an article by our very own Alex Rubinson extolling the plate discipline displayed early in the season by Bethesda. (3-1) to Murphy. Swing and a looper fouled. Off the Kona shaved ice truck down the right field line. Skaronski at second, Wesley at first, Murphy at the plate. A 3-2 count. Pitch to him. Check swing fouled. He'll see another pitch.
This is a good battle here between Murphy and Domenico, the lefty from Notre Dame, not wanting to load the bases with only one out. This is a huge battle for Murphy here in his first big train at bat.
And Domenico had a very nice season with the Cropdusters last year. Posted a 3.72 ERA. Payoff pitch. Swing and a soft looper over the second baseman's head and into right field. The throw goes into second base. And they get Matthew Wesley. Wesley had to stay near first as Frey nearly was able to make a play on that. And coming in hard, Coy Swanson, he picks it up and fires to second base to nip Wesley. So there's 2 away.
Yeah, that's the good old 9-6 putout. You don't see that too much. The second baseman, Frey, backpedaled, looked like he had it for a second, but then lost it. And Wesley thought he was going to catch it. I thought he was going to catch it too. It looked like he was under it for a moment, so got a late break off at first, and ultimately a strong throw from Swanson gets the force out. And now we got runners in the corners with 2 out.
And you got to give credit there to Swanson, charging hard all the way. That pitch goes to the backstop and hops right back to the catcher, Cook. And already coming into play is that bouncy backstop, because at most places, including probably at Shirley Povich Field, Josh Skaronski can score on that pitch.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to talk about earlier. And I almost thought that Cook, the catcher, I thought he was going to turn around and fire towards third. That ball came back so fast. I thought maybe he could backpick Skaronski at third.
Torre and Domenico facing Brett Ott, another of the big train's lefties hitting in the 9-hole today. He takes the ball low, and it's 2-0. Ott yesterday went 1 for 4 with a walk, scored 2 runs. The center fielder out of Sacramento State. He swings and grounds it up the middle towards Frey, who will shovel to second base. Hawkins grabs it there, a 4-6 fielder's choice to end the top half of the second. Big Train 0, Cropdusters 0 going to the bottom.
Number 23 from the University of Utah, Zakai Hawkins.
Zakai Hawkins steps to the dish. Today's shortstop for Olney, leading off against Lucas Marrero. Hawkins, Santiago Cruz, and Knight due up for the host this inning. Marrero leaves his first pitch outside, ball one. Marrero had a 14-pitch first inning. That's about the golden rule of what you want your starting pitcher to throw in any given inning. Second pitch inside, ball two.
Yeah, and he had a 7-8 pitch battle with Coy Swanson in the second at bat. Eventually struck him out, but Cook and Stalker with some first pitch swinging and some easy pop ups on some fastballs that were run inside.
Zakai Hawkins up 3-0 now after the ball. Marrero walked the leadoff batter Aiden Frey in the first frame, trying not to do the same to Hawkins here. Hawkins waggles the bat and watches a strike. Zakai Hawkins stands knock-kneed at the plate with the shoulder turned away from Marrero, and the bat cocked back toward him. Ball four upstairs to the shortstop, and it brings up the third baseman, Santiago Cruz.
From the University of Richmond, Angel Santiago Cruz.
Third baseman, Angel Santiago Cruz, steps up with Hawkins at first. Santiago Cruz out of the University of Richmond hails from Severna Park, Maryland. Swinging a foul back into the netting. Strike one. And sometimes for pitchers, it's just hard coming off the bench. And for Marrero, after getting ahead here, maybe that's the case because after the walk against Frey, he really bore down, made a lot of great pitches to retire the next three in order. Got ahead here with a good spot to Santiago Cruz and gets him to check swing and keep going for strike two. Two nice pitches to the Cropdusters' third baseman, and he's on the doorstep of his second K. Picks off over to first base, and Hawkins upstanding.
Pretty smooth left-handed pickoff move there. Came with the leg, but didn't make a move to the plate. Easy throw to first. It looked like a pretty good move. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets someone later this season or maybe this game.
Hawkins takes off. The pitch is fouled off the foot of Santiago Cruz, off the ankle guard he's got there, so he's no worse for wear.
Yeah, and that time Hawkins really had that leg kick timed up. He had a very good jump. If that pitch would have been taken, he would have been there easily. So maybe try to keep a little bit better of an eye on him. Murphy going to probably have to come with a strong throw if he gets that good of a jump.
The upside and the downside of the lefties holding runners is that you can take off on first move. That pitch is high, ball one. But with the lefty up, sometimes if you're going to go, you're just going to go. And whether they pick off or go to the plate, you're just going on first move. So it allows you to get incrementally better jumps than you might against a righty. Hawkins leans once, stays put on the pitch. As it goes low, doesn't draw a swing from Santiago Cruz. Good chase pitch, though, goes off speed against the big righty. Marrero set at the shoulders, steps and fires. Check swing, did he go? It bounces away from Murphy. And Hawkins able to take second base. They check, they say safe. Yeah, it's a tough test. That is a nice at-bat by Santiago Cruz. Put a barrel on that, but Martinez nearly made an incredible play. Did knock it down. That's hit off the end of the bat, tooling up the first base line. Gonzalez fields it and tags out Jaden Knight. Hawkins stays put at third. Santiago Cruz moves up to second. That's a big out.
Yeah, he ran the fastball inside on him. hit it off the handle, just a little bit of a dribbler down the first base line. Hawkins wasn't able to get from third, and a great job from Gonzalez to feel that and just immediately go for the tag, not trying to mess around, throwing to first. If the tag's there, take it. He did. Now a double play could end this inning.
Brings up Caden Ahern. Ahern, a junior out of Lehigh University. 6'4". Swing and a miss.
Yeah, I think he was expecting something else there. He was really late on the fastball. Maybe saw it down the middle and thought it was too good of him.
Runners at second and third, still one out. That's swung and grounded towards first. Gonzalez picks on a hop and kicks the bag for out number 2, but Hawkins able to scamper home and give the Cropdusters a 1-0 lead.
Number 3 from Frostburg State University, Brian Scott.
So an RBI ground out by Ahern gets the job done there, and it brings up Brian Scott, the only center fielder. Marrero looking to rally from putting runners at the corners and nobody out. Limit the damage to just 1 run. Swing, and that's lined up the middle for a base hit. It gets into center field. Scott with an RBI knock. Santiago Cruz comes around, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, the Cropdusters have been doing a lot of first pitch swinging. Last 2 hitters have cut at the first pitch. That time, Scott found a good pitch to hit a middle fastball, just pounded it right up the ground, up the middle, and it's 2-0 for Olney.
Trevor Orth is up and throwing in the bullpen for Bethesda, as Marrero looks to escape this inning. Another first pitch swing. That's cracked towards left field. That is going to be it. Down and one hop the wall. Rounding third. He's getting sent. It's Brian Scott. The throw in is going to get cut off. And an RBI double for Aiden Frey. Before you could really get reckoning, it's 3-0.
Yeah, some more 2-out hitting from the big train opponent. Aiden Fry, another just attacking early in counts, just serving one deep down the line. That seems to be their team philosophy at the plate. If you see a good pitch early in the count, hack at it. Sometimes it's the best pitch you're going to hit all at bat.
Yeah, aggression can be key. You saw the DC Grays use patience, drew some walks out of the big train hurlers. Today, aggression has put up a crooked number. Strike 1 called on a pitch at the knees to Coley Swanson. Swanson struck out looking in his first trip to the plate after a long at-bat. Swanson swings and misses. Off-speed fooled him, and it's 0-2. That pitch is low. Runner takes off and is upstanding as the pitch goes in the dirt. Frey now at third base. And they've gotten great jumps off Marrero. He has a big high leg kick even with runners on. And the Cropdusters have been able to get running. Swanson takes low again. That one's smothered by Dylan Murphy. Lefty to lefty, the pitch is fouled back. And again, we're going a bit longer in a matchup between Swanson and Marrero. This next pitch for Marrero will be his 37th. He kicks, delivers. Ball just high.
Yeah, barely missed there. Full count now, but still Marrero has been making competitive pitches in 2-strike counts. It's just been the Cropdusters attacking early in the counts, which has netted them these first 3 runs.
The payoff. Swing and a miss. Blocked by Murphy in the dirt. He hops up, throws to first, and it's on target. Retires Coy Swanson, but not before the Cropdusters get 3 runs on 3 hits. They leave a runner on, and we'll move to the top of the third with the hosts leading 3-0. Brennan Wright leading off the top of the third. Bethesda back to the top of the big train lineup. Jackson Corcoran with you alongside Quincy Bell. Gibson Hurt is our producer engineer. And Dominico returning to ball.
And Wright didn't really get to see much in his first at bat. He got drilled in the back first pitch of the game.
He sees a pitch here and singles into center field, cracks it for his first non-infield knock of the 2025 season.
Batting next is designated hitter number 13 from the University of Maryland, Parker Corbin.
Parker Corbin rolled one over to the first baseman Stalker in his first trip to the plate. He's got Wright at first base for the second time. As there's a crop duster warming in the pen to relieve Indominico, who pours in strike one to Corbin.
And it's another lefty warming up in the bullpen for Olney. I think the book might be out on the big train, and with all their lefties, teams are going to need lefty pitchers to combat them.
Rounded towards third base. 5-4-3 double play. Brennan Wright's erased. Santiago Cruz to Frey to Stalker.
And that was a clean turn by this Olney infield. Hard on the ground to third. A really well hit ball, but ultimately just hit a little bit too hard, and a little bit of an unlucky result there for the big train.
And Indominico has been effectively wild today. 3 walks, 20 balls of his 40 pitches. Exactly a 50-50 ratio, and now it goes above 50-50 as that pitch is high. But 2 2/3 scoreless. It was much the same for Myers yesterday. The DC Gray starting pitcher, he walked 5 in his 3 innings of work and held the big to a run.
And he's gotten some help from his defense. I mean, in that last inning, Wesley was thrown out from right field at second base after a pop-up. Like, it's not just been that he's been dominating hitters. His defense has helped him out.
Martinez grounds it towards the backhand of Hawkins. He fields it there. The peg to first is in time. Retires his fellow shortstop. And through 2.5, it's still 3-0 Cropdusters. We're here in the bottom of the third at First Responder Field at Serve Pro Stadium in Olney. Cropdusters versus Big Train, game number 2 of the 2025 Cal Ripken Senior Collegiate Baseball League season. Tyler Cook leading off. He was one of those first pitch swingers, but one of the unlucky ones. He flew out to Josh Skaronski back in the first inning against Lucas Marrero, who kicks and fires and drops in a strike.
This time a little bit more patient. Nice first pitch from Marrero at the knees. That's where he's been living. Most of the stuff has been down in the zone. Nice location there to start off the leadoff man.
And the first pitches that have gotten hit have mostly been of the fastball variety. Goes breaker again and nearly draws a swing out of Cook. But he doesn't go, and it's ball 1. Marrero comes set, toe taps, and delivers. Steer, right, called. Gets ahead in the count. Marrero delivers another breaking ball low to Cook. Austin Stalker, the first baseman, stands on deck. Tyler Cook looks to get on for him. Swing and a line drive into right field towards Skaronski. He pedals over and makes the grab.
His second time that Cook has flown out to Skaronski, easily glides over to make the play. One thing about Skaronski and right, yeah, he does have the big arm. He has a quick first step, though. That's key. As someone myself who normally would play in the outfield, your first step is everything, and Skaronski is one of the better ones on the big train in making that first step.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to look at on Big League StatCast is the outfielder statistics. That pitch is high, ball 1. But when you look at the top-rated defensive outfielders, they're getting jumps better than anybody else in the league. It's not that they're faster. It's not that they're not that they're running better routes. It's that they're reading the ball so well and getting jumps off the bat. Nice breaking ball gets Stalker to swing over it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And when it comes to outfield statistics, it's basically jump, speed, and I guess catch radius for how many unique plays you can make. But I think first step probably the most important out of all of those.
Another nice pitch sends Stalker fishing. He's got 2 big swings and misses out of the Cropdusters cleanup hitter. Marrero nods yes to the sign from Dylan Murphy. And delivers a breaking ball. That one too low to draw the eye of Stalker. Swing and a pop-up. That'll stay on the infield. Here comes Logan Punnett. Close the glove on it in foul territory. That's 2 quick outs for Olney.
Yeah, the one big downside, in my opinion, of swinging early in counts is sometimes you pop things up more often, and that's the second time that the cleanup hitter Stalker has popped up in foul territory for an out.
The 2 high lazy pops for Stalker. And it brings up Zakai Hawkins, who worked a walk and came around to score. Take strike 1 here. Trevor Orth has sat down in the Bethesda bullpen. This inning, at the very least, looks to be Marrero's. He might get sent back out for a 4th if he keeps working quick. The pitch. High. He's at 49 pitches as of that last ball. Pitch to Hawkins. Below the knees. Zips by level with Hawkins' black high socks with his fake denim pants bloused at the knees. Swing and a fly ball. Left center field. Scooting over is Ott. He makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Cropdusters in the bottom of the third. When we come back for the fourth, Quincy Bell will tell you all about it. After the
Welcome back. You are listening live from Olney, Maryland. My name is Quincy Bell. Alongside me is Jackson Corker, and I'll be taking care of play-by-play for the middle innings today, and we have a new pitcher to tell you about. His name is Austin Parando. He hails from the University of Charleston. This last year was his freshman campaign. He had a 3.86 ERA in 42 innings, only allowed 1 home run, 30 strikeouts to only 14 walks. He pitches from the right side of the mound, and the first batter he will face is Emilio Gonzalez. He bounces a curveball in the dirt for ball 1. Gonzalez popped up to the second baseman in his first at-bat, and I'm sure the middle of this big train order with a lot of lefties is liking to see a right-hander on the mound, 1-0, fastball taken low. But that's when they did most of their damage yesterday against the D.C. Grays. They scored 5 runs in the 8th inning, and most of those were against a right-handed pitcher. So I'm sure the middle of this big train order is chomping at the bit right now. Ahead in the count 2-0 is Gonzalez. He pops one up into shallow center, and it's going to fall in front of the center fielder, Scott, for a leadoff single.
looks like Gonzalez snapped the bat there, but gets enough juice on it to send it into center field. He's a strong hitter. One of those guys who can big league muscle a broken bat single into center.
This is an all-wood bat lead, the Cal Ripken Collegiate League, whereas the NCAA allows for metal bats. So that might be a change that some players are going to have to adapt to as well, switching to a wood bat as opposed to a metal or composite. Skoronsky now digs in. He walked in his first at-bat, drew 3 walks and a hit by pitch yesterday. 0 for 2, but has reached base 5 of his first 7 times. Coming set is Parando. Delivers a fastball at the knees for a strike.
Yeah, pitchers haven't wanted to mess with the 13-homer man. They know the pop that's in Skoronsky's bat, and they're willing to pitch around him.
Parando came in and relieved the starter in Dominico, who pitched 3 innings of scoreless ball, only allowed 1 hit. Skaronski grounds one foul down the third base line near where we're stationed. To give you a view of what we're looking at, we are on the third base line. We are sitting directly behind the Big Train third base coach. So that gives you a view of sort of what we're looking at as the sun begins to set here in Olney, Maryland. 1-2 the count on Josh Skaronski. Holding his bat out vertically, sort of Ichiro style from the left-handed side. Now brings it to his shoulders. Parando is set, kicks and delivers the 1-2, curveball in the dirt for ball 2.
And Skaronski's one of those hitters that really spreads himself out on the lower half. When it gets to 2 strikes, a lot of hitters like to do that just to simplify things, remove the leg kick, give yourself a better chance at making contact when you have 2 strikes on you.
2-2, Parando set, kicks and fires. Chopped foul along the first base Cropdusters dugout, and the count will remain even. Skaronski, a very disciplined hitter. And if you're a power hitter and you are disciplined, when pitchers pitch around you, it just gives you so many chances to get on base, improve the OPS, and become a valuable team player. Parando set at the belt, 2-2 delivery. Just misses inside, and Skaronski finds himself in a full count.
And we've seen a lot of great takes from the Big Train lineup on close pitches. That is one that is pretty easy to offer at in a 2-2 count. Again, discipline from Skaronski to leave it.
Last night's almost hero, Ponnet, waits on deck. Full count payoff from Parando. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Skaronski can't catch up to the fastball. So there's one down here in the inning, and Ponnet will step in. He struck out in his first at-bat after getting moved up to the 6th hole today after hitting 9th yesterday. Gonzalez still the runner on first. Kick and the pitch from Parando in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Cook. Ponnet went 1 for 4 in that game yesterday. The grand slam was his only hit. Well, that's really all the Big Train needed to eventually get back in that game. Ahead of the count 1-0. Kick and the fire. Slider misses outside. Ponnet out of the University of Charlotte, the 49ers. 6 foot, 190 pounds, bats right and throws right. The righty Parando is set, kicks and delivers the 2-0. Fastball just low. And Ponnet in a hitter's count at 3-0.
Father Kevin played ball at Misericordia University, who just recently won the Division III World Series. They play Krug ball. They lean in the pitches, run like crazy on the base paths, and they won a championship.
3-0 is taken right down the middle for a strike. We'll see how aggressive Ponnet will be on the 3-1. Gonzalez with a solid lead off of first. Kick and the delivery from Parando. Line drive into left field, and it's down for a base hit. Gonzalez will move up to second, so 2 singles in the first 3 batters, and the Big Train will bring the tying run up to the plate in the form of Matthew Wesley.
You know, we're 2 games in, so it's a little early to make predictions about what hitters are really going to do, but it looks like so far that Ponnet is at his best when he's able to tap into pull side power. He's able to get out in front of pitches. Obviously, he slugged the home run to the pull side, and he got that hit. He cracked it to left field.
Yeah, the grand slam he hit stayed fair by a matter of a few feet. It was one of those, if it's fair, it's gone type of towering home runs. Wesley steps in. Big swing and a miss on the fastball for strike 1. Parando, a little bit of trouble finding the zone so far. 8 strikes and 8 balls have been thrown in his first 16 pitches. A 1 on Wesley, checks the runner at second, now kicks and fires. Swing and a miss again on the fastball, and Wesley's down 0-2.
And those first 2 swings from Wesley are the swings of a player who's walked in his last 4 trips to the plate and is pretty tired of it, wants to put a barrel on a baseball.
He'd love to tie this game up with 1 swing of the bat. Ponnet set, has options here on 0-2. Comes to the curveball, but Wesley takes low. The sun is completely behind a big wall of clouds, the temperature has really cooled off here a little bit here in Olney, Maryland. 1-2. Fastball low again, and the count now even at 2s.
While it's difficult to complain about opening day at Shirley Povich Field on the whole, was a little hot. This is lovely baseball weather.
It was 81 degrees at first pitch. Now we've cooled off to about 75, 74 with a nice breeze coming in from the left field wall, popped up behind the Cropdusters dugout, and Wesley is putting together a bit of a battle here. The three flags out in center field, the U.S. flag, the Maryland flag, the only Cropduster flag, are pretty straight down with a little bit of sway in from center field. I don't think the wind will be affecting too many balls in the air in this game. 2-2 the count. Parando kicks and delivers to Wesley. Pops one foul back into the net, and he will face a 7th pitch in this at-bat.
And in his first few appearances at the plate for Bethesda, Wesley has proven a tough out. He still has not been retired in 2025.
He walked in his first at-bat and was forced out at second base from right field after he had to wait and see if a pop-up in shallow right was going to get caught or not. 2-2 still the count. Parando trying not to lose him. Delivers a curveball just outside, and the count now full. Now Jackson with a full count and 1 out. Do you send the runners here, try to push the envelope a little bit?
I would not hate that at all, especially given the bat ball ability Wesley has shown so far. You're not too worried about the strike him out, throw him out.
Payoff, bounces in the dirt, and Wesley battles back from down 0-2 to draw the walk, and the bases will now be loaded with 1 out for Dylan Murphy.
And I've really loved what I've seen from Matthew Wesley at the plate in these first 2 games. Again, he has not been retired. He's put in some fantastic at-bats. Those walks that he's picked up have mostly been earned, not given.
Murphy in his first at-bat looped that fly ball into shallow right, but was robbed of a hit with the force out at second base. Looking to drive in some runs to get the big trend on the board. Line drive to second. Diving attempt by the second baseman Fry, but it gets through. Around second. And again, they force out Wesley at second. Once again, he had to wait to see if the ball was going to get caught. So for the second time, Wesley is retired on a 9-6 putout, and Dylan Murphy has been robbed of a single again. But he does get an RBI as Gonzalez scores from third, and the big trainer on the board. It's now 3-1.
I wish we had like the Elias Sports Bureau, because I don't think that in any baseball game a player has had back-to-back 9-6 putouts. There's no way.
That is a first for me. One of the rarest ones that I ever saw in my career was a 3-sack fly game. I did have a 3-sack fly game once back in my playing days, but that was one of the more rare ones. Brett Ott now digs in from the left side of the box. He'll look to cash in some runs here with 2 outs. He took the first pitch right down the middle for strike 1. Parando set, looks at the runner at third, Ponnet. Now comes to the plate. Swing and a miss on the fastball. And Ott behind in the count 0-2.
And Brett Ott grounding out last time, now down 0-2. Would really love at least 1 more run this inning if you're the big train.
0-2, 2 outs. Ponnet at third, Murphy at first. Parando set at the belt. Big leg kick and the fire popped up down the third baseline towards us, and it will land in the softball field next door.
There was a softball game going on behind us earlier today. It looks like it's been vacated now, but in between the innings, the Big Train bullpen was looking over and cheering on the fielders when the balls got in the outfield.
I was getting a little bit nervous that someone was going to power a fly ball and head one near our tent over here down the third base line. Count is still 0-2 on Brett Ott. Kick and the fire pop up in the air, shallow right. Frey, the second baseman, going back at it, and he makes the catch to retire the side. But the Big Train do push across. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. The score is 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Innings has been pretty efficient. That was just his 53rd pitch thrown. You assume his pitch count's probably somewhere near 65, 70 maybe, and hopefully that will get him through at least this inning.
With the Big Train using 7 pitchers in the game yesterday, you're going to want to hope that he can get pretty deep into this game. He'll face off against Jaden Knight, a member of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He is supporting a gold chrome batting helmet. That is what Notre Dame wears. Obviously, they're famous for wearing those gold chrome helmets as on their football team, but every single sport does wear them. Baseball, softball, lacrosse. Every sport that wears a helmet has a gold chrome helmet. 1-0. Kick and the fire from Marrero is taken for a ball. Of course, Notre Dame has a big gold dome at the top of their student union. That's one of the more famous collegiate buildings in the USA. And that is what the big gold helmet represents. 2-0 from Marrero. Driven deep out in the air to center field. Going back on it is Ottie's at the wall and makes the over-the-shoulder catch. We talked about this earlier, Jackson. That's a great first step.
And it really is, because that's a tough play because it's right over his head. I mean, it doesn't seem that way, but when it's hit right at you and over you, that's probably one of the toughest plays you can have as an outfielder, because it's just so tough to get a beat on it. But Odd read that all the way and caught it on the canter.
Marrero has retired the last 5 batters he has faced. He's looking to make it 6 as Caden Ahern steps to the plate. Kick and the fire to the lefty, and he takes a slider. Front hit for strike 1.
I think Coach Sal Colangelo will like what he's seen at the end of the day from Marrero today. Guy who just finished his freshman year at a D3 school, and he's coming out and put up a pretty solid start.
0-1, taken in the dirt for a ball.
I mean, really, you take out 2 out hits from Brian Scott and Aiden Frey, and he's put up a really good outing.
1-1 the count on Ahern. Marrero set, kicks and fires. Fastball just misses outside at the knees for ball 2. Ahern grounded out to the first baseman Emilio Gonzalez in his first at-bat. He finds himself at all. In fact, we're in his hometown. 1-0 from Marrero. He comes with the move to first, but diving back is Ahern. The Cropdusters are a fairly new team, founded in 2021, so Ahern could not have grown up going to Cropdusters games, but I'm sure he was happy when he found out that a summer team was founded in his hometown. 1-0 from Marrero. Again, he picks over, but again, Ahern back.
It's a good read by Ahern, because Marrero's lefty move is good. He kick, and arm movement pretty well when he plans on going over to first.
1-0. Kick and coming to the plate is Marrero. It's high again to Scott. Ahead in the count 2-0. You don't want the 9-hitter to get away from you here with 2 outs and let the lineup flip back over. Kick and the fire on the 2-0. Bounces. Nice block by Murphy. But 3-0 is the count to Scott.
I'd like to ask a lefty pitcher, given that I don't throw that way, if it throws you off your delivery just a little bit when you do the lefty move, because it's supposed to be so similar to your windup, but then you go to first, and you have to do the same thing but then go home. I wonder if it can mess with your mechanics.
3-0. Fastball taken just a bit outside. That one was close. Normally on a 3-0 count, you get the benefit of the call there. But it's a walk to Scott, and now the Delaware Bluehead, Aiden Fry, will step in with 2 runners on and 2 out. Walking up to a little bit of Lil Uzi Vert. Most of the songs coming over the PA system have been country songs, especially between innings. And with a team called the Cropdusters, that is to be expected. They're leaning into the theme of their team a little bit. The Big Train will have a meeting on the mound here. We'll see how much longer Marrero is going to go. I don't know if he's going to be getting pulled, but there is action in the Bethesda bullpen. It's Trevor Orth who is getting loose.
But big league pitching coach Mike Maddox is famous for the claw. He comes out and just plants his hand on the pitcher's shoulder Big Train coach Craig Lopez has his own little version of the claw, gave a reassuring hand on the shoulder of Lucas Marrero, and they'll entrust him to get this final out.
This will be the third time he has seen Aiden Fry, and Fry has gotten the best of him in the first two at-bats. He walked in the first inning and had an RBI double in the second inning. The Cropdusters got out to a 3-0 lead with 3 runs in the bottom half of the second. The Big Train pushed across a run in the top half of the fourth, and that is how the scoring has gone so far. Inside move and a pickoff attempt to second, but Ahern gets back.
The inside move really works best when a hitter is trying to go early on you, and I don't hate the usage there because that's what the Cropdusters have tried to do. Yeah, that's an excellent defensive play by Ponnet. And the throw just stayed down on Gonzalez. Tough pick, one of those tweener hops, and it's a bad break for 2 more runs.
That's a really tough throw to make after diving to the ground to make the stop. And it was a great effort to even get the throw even close. And with 2 outs, you have to take the risk to try to get out of the inning. But eventually the ball does get to the backstop, and 2 unearned runs will cross for Marrero. And now Swanson will step in and try to extend the inning for the Cropdusters. Marrero kicks and fires. Half swing, but a full swing in the eyes of our plate umpire on the fastball for strike 1. Fry, the speedster, leads off of second. Marrero comes to the plate just low for ball 1.
And going back to that last play, that's one of those that's just a real tough luck error on Ponnet, because that's what it's going to go in the book as, E5, because by rule, when the ball skips, you got to give the error to the thrower, not the fielder. But he made a great play to even get to that point.
This ball fisted into foul territory. It will just get beyond the fence and land out of play. One, two, the count to the lefty Swanson, holding the bat very high above his head, sort of Matt Olson style from the left-handed side. Marrero looking to retire the side, but he cannot. The curveball runs inside and hits Swanson in the back.
Yeah, got 2 quick outs, then hit by pitch, walk, error, hit by pitch. I mean, just a tough 4-batter spell for the young lefty.
Yeah, that was one of the stories of the game yesterday. There were multiple innings where the D.C. Grays got out their first 2 at-bats, but then were able to push across some runs, and it looks like that will be all for Marrero. It'll be Trevor Orth coming out of the bullpen when we come back. New pitcher for the Big Train will be Trevor Orth, who throws from the right-hand side. Currently entering his senior year out of Roanoke College. He pitched for the Big Train last year. And this ball runs inside, and I believe it hit Tyler Cook. A little bit of debate between player and umpire, and they are going to give Cook the hit by pitch.
Interesting scenario there. Cook actually pulled off the glove and showed his hand to the umpire. And I guess the umpire saw a ball mark there because he initially had called it a foul ball. It's the rare time that showing the umpire the mark does work out for you.
I have tried to do that. One time I got hit in the shoulder, but it ricocheted off my shoulder and into the catcher's glove. And the umpire called it a ball. I turned, showed him the stitches that were imprinted on my left shoulder, and he said, well, I didn't see it. And the three umpires here get together and they uphold the call. A three-man umpiring crew today. Last night's game at Shirley Povich Field was a two-man umpiring crew. I believe. I might have to fact-check that later. But the bases are now loaded for the Cropdusters as Austin Stalker, the cleanup man, steps in. He takes a fastball down the middle for strike one. Oh, 1. Another fastball right down Broadway for strike two.
And someone needs to check Trevor Orth's face. He's got a big old caterpillar on that lip of his.
0-2. Orth set, kicks and fires. Fastball just misses outside. He does have a pretty nice mustache. I am a fan myself. Some nice flow coming out of the back. I got to talk with him at the Nationals-Cubs game this past Tuesday. He's a funny guy, I will say so myself. We were having a lot of fun at that game. 1-2. One strike away from getting out of the inning are the Big Train. Kick in the fire. Ground ball is through into left field for a base hit. One run is home. Swanson around third. He will score. And after 2 outs to lead off the inning, the Cropdusters have put up 4 in the bottom half of the fourth.
Yeah, just being able to stop the bleeding is so huge, and that's what a couple times the Big Train haven't been able to do is just hold it at 1 run or 2 runs in the inning. That's how you get down 7-1 in 2 games in a row.
This is the exact same situation yesterday. The DC Grays were up 7-1 in the 4th inning, but the Big Train were eventually able to come back and tie it. So in summer ball, games are never over, as Kai Hawkins will now be the 9th batter to step to the plate for the Cropdusters. He takes in the dirt for ball 1. Orth recollects himself, takes a deep breath, now comes set at the belt. Looks back the runner at second, now kicks and delivers the 1-0, popped up foul and out of play.
Orth, even in the count now, this is big. You've got to stop the bleeding. It's the 9th hitter that the Big Train have faced in this inning. Just have to hold it here.
6 straight runners have reached after the first 2 quick outs. 1-1. Fastball taken at the belt for strike 2. 1 out away still from getting out of the inning. 4 runs. Already home for the Cropdusters. Orth set at the belt again. Kicks and delivers the 1-2. Grounded slowly towards third. It will just roll foul. Hawkins walked in his first at-bat, stole 2 bases and came around to score. And then he flew out deep to center field in his second at-bat. This is his 3rd at-bat in as many innings. 1-2 again from Orth. Grounded to third. Ponnet comes, throws to second just in time to get the runner. Stalker, the hometown Olney fans do not like the call, but the Big Train are out of the inning.